Hello, powerful. It's Coach Lisa. Today, I'm going to talk about creating a generative lifestyle. Look, it's up to you to create the lifestyle that feeds your vision. So, if you find yourself exhausted, you're feeling like you're out of shape, you don't like the relationships you're in, you don't like your work, you're not feeling creative, it's kind of your fault. There are things that are under your control that you can change. So, sorry, I just want to have that conversation with you. One of the things that I'm seeing is that I'm not getting into my bedroom early enough. I want to be in my bedroom at 9 o'clock at night. And I use red light therapy and I like to read a little bit and I like to do the New York Times crossword puzzle with auto check on. It's very helpful. And some other word games. And I just chill out that way before I turn out the light and get a good night's sleep so I can get up around 6 o'clock in the morning. But I haven't been doing that on a regular basis. And so then I'll sit downstairs and I'll snack and I'll take in unnecessary calories and then I'll just won't feel as good the next day. That's my own damn fault. And I feel like my power was lower because I wasn't creating the lifestyle that I need to. I want you to think about, how are you doing with creating your lifestyle? Is it creating the sense of energy that you want to feel for yourself? Because if not, there's some things that you need to change. And I also want you to think about, are you working out and how are you working out? Are you eating the right foods? And if not, what can you do about that? And if you are, yay, congratulations. How much alcohol are you taking in? I mean, there are all these studies, and I don't have the figures to cite right now, but there are tons of studies that show that even two drinks at night or even one drink at night, it affects your sleep, your cognitive abilities. So if you're consuming one glass of wine every night, you're going to feel a little foggy. So think about whether or not it's worth it to you to do that. Are you taking in, I don't know, cannabis or other drugs? It's legal, so it's a little bit easier to do that. And does it help you? And if so, great. Go, do it. But monitor, is it really helping you in the way that you want it to help you? Or are you overusing it? I have a client that says there's a fine line between being high and being medicated. And so if you're using cannabis or alcohol or something else to medicate yourself and it's working for you, that's great. And please talk to a doctor about it too to make sure you're doing the right thing. But no, try to determine, am I crossing the line? And if so, that's something that you want to address. Go to a therapist if you feel like there are issues that are unresolved that you want to work on. Same thing. I'm going to suggest that you talk to a doctor or you find the right medical professional to help you out if you feel like that's something going on with you. Okay. And then also, are you taking time to do creative things? Like, are you spending the right amount of time working and then the right amount of time with your mind on something else? Work life balance, I think it's a matter of creating a lifestyle that works for you. Like, I'm thinking about work all the time, but I love it all the time because it's fun for me. But actually, I say all the time, but it's not really true because all the creative stuff that I did, and that takes my mind off of generative power. I do need a break. I mean, there were times last week I was saturated, like my brain was saturated. I was physically exhausted. I shut down at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and I took myself out to lunch because this is part of creating the lifestyle that works for me so that I don't burn out. I do have somebody who helps me with generative power, but it's a lot on me and I love that, but I also have to know how to control my energy. And it's a constant process of learning for me. Okay, I want to show you something. I am going to bring in some of the lessons from a professor named Deborah Grunfeld. Deborah Grunfeld. And I love her work. And she talks about power and power dynamics. And so I ordered her book on Amazon so that I could reference it and, see what diagrams were in there. And the book came. I didn't realize, first of all, I didn't realize I was buying a used book. So I ended up buying a used book and it was more than used. It was discarded. So I was going to return it and then I thought, you know what? This is a fantastic metaphor and I need to share this on generative power. So this is a book that says Acting with Power. It's a beautiful cover, but there's actually like a big chunk cut out of the cover and then it's been stamped in red and it says discarded. I think this was from a library. Why would a library discard a book? Like, it doesn't smell musty. I don't think it was in a fire. I don't think it was in a flood. This book was discarded. Deborah Grunfeld, Acting with Power. So I got another copy. And this one looks beautiful, doesn't it? But hey, look at this. Like, are there times when you feel like you've been discarded? Like my power? I discarded it, or I succumbed to someone else's opinion and felt like they discarded it, but actually it was me because it's all about internal power. And then what can you do to bring back your power so that you get a bright, shiny looking book? What can you do? Wow, what a powerful, what a powerful metaphor. So I want you to think about, how are you creating your life? And like, if you're a person who works from home, how are you creating your work environment? Is an environment that works for you? Do you have a chair that's good for your posture? Does your chair work for your posture? Is it feeding into your skeletal health? Or do you feel like it's not working for you? I actually spent a lot of time and money figuring out what chair works for me, and this is the perfect chair for me. And I don't take that lightly. And I also go to a co-working space sometimes, and I go there because there's nothing in the office to disturb me. There's nothing to distract me. There's no laundry to be done. There's no food to be cooked. There's very few people for me to talk to. So I just stay focused. This is part of me creating lifestyle. I have created workspaces that work for me. Now, I know if you live with a family, if you have kids, and you're working from home, that's really can be really difficult to carve out the space and the silence that you need. But maybe you need a co-working space outside of your home. Maybe you can invest in that. Or maybe you need to share with your family how it impacts you when there's a lot of noise, when you're trying to focus and you're on a meeting. It's a personal journey, and it's so challenging for different people in different environments, and I'm very fortunate. So I feel for you if that's a struggle. But again, it's just one more thing about, how are you setting yourself up for generative success? Because if you have a conversation about the work environment that you need and you say, this isn't working for me, here's a suggestion, could we try this? It's going to build on itself, and you're going to feel more productive, more energetic, more powerful. And then you're going to come closer to achieving your outcome, and you will achieve your outcome. So, my question for you in summary is, what are you doing to create a generative lifestyle for yourself? And a second question is, what are you doing that's counterproductive to creating a generative lifestyle? So, it would actually be contributing to a downward spiral, a lack of power. So, what's working well for you and what needs to be altered? I want you to think about that. All right, stay powerful.
Lesson learned there, and we can apply that to what we already know